Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're unpacking a truly harrowing investigation that absolutely shook a community to its core. We're going to look at how a massive, really desperate search for a missing college student in Virginia ended up unraveling this hidden, decade-long web of violent crimes. And ultimately, it brought a serial predator to justice. So let's dive right in.
Somebody's got to know where she is, because it's been a week and we can't find her. Listen to that desperate, frustrated plea. That was Charlottesville Police Chief Tim Longo, and it perfectly captures the sheer terror and the urgency that completely gripped the city in September of 2014. 18-year-old University of Virginia student Hannah Graham had seemingly vanished into thin air, and the entire nation was watching.
Section 1. Vanished in Charlottesville. A night out ends in mystery.
Okay, so to understand how this sprawling case was finally cracked, we have to start right at the inciting incident, the very night Hannah disappeared. On September 13, 2014, Hannah, who friends described as super smart, musically gifted, just a real confident go-getter, well, she'd been out to dinner and a few parties. She was captured on security cameras navigating the bustling downtown Charlottesville pedestrian mall. But what's absolutely crucial here is her behavior on the footage. Hannah had lost her bearings. The cameras caught her running and kind of stumbling through this well-lit, historic downtown area in the early hours of the morning.
Which brings us to a really chilling question. What exactly happened in those crucial, unrecorded minutes? Because the physical trail just went completely cold. With no eyewitnesses immediately coming forward with her whereabouts, investigators had to painstakingly scour hours of security footage just to piece together a digital breadcrumb trail. And what they eventually found on those tapes revealed a deeply disturbing sight.
Section 2. The man on the tape. A suspect emerges. The major turning point in the initial search came from a jewelry store's surveillance camera. It actually caught Hannah walking side by side with a very distinctive, unidentified man, and he seemingly had his arm right around her waist. Once police identified that man, he presented this jarring, frankly terrifying contrast. His name was Jesse Matthew, a 32-year-old local. Now, on one hand, you had his public persona, right? Known to friends as a gentle giant, he was a volunteer high school football coach, a hospital worker, but hiding right beneath that was a really dark past. This included prior unprosecuted sexual assault allegations at 2 different universities he'd previously attended. And on the tape, he was literally seen making a U-turn to deliberately track Hannah down the mall.
After that, Matthew's behavior escalated incredibly fast. Once he was identified via a tip from that CCTV footage, he voluntarily walked into the police station, asked for a lawyer, and then just left, because at that point, police didn't have enough to hold him. But while under surveillance, he literally floors it in his sister's car and goes on the run. The high-stakes chase finally concluded 1,300 miles away on a beach in Galveston, Texas. A super vigilant beachgoer named Karen Monk actually recognized his face from a wanted poster, held her breath, and called the authorities.
Section 3. Echoes of the past. A community's shared grief.
So, while Matthew sat in custody absolutely refusing to speak, the community's collective memory triggered a haunting realization. Hannah's disappearance felt terrifyingly familiar. Over nearly a decade, this heavy span of fear had gripped the region. In 2005, there was a violent attack on a woman known as RG in Fairfax. In 2009, 20-year-old Morgan Harrington vanishes from a Metallica concert in Charlottesville. Her remains were found months later. In 2013, 17-year-old Alexis Murphy disappears nearby. And then in 2014, Hannah Graham. Now, it's worth noting, another man was actually convicted for Alexis Murphy's murder, but the sheer volume of young women vanishing or facing violence in this area created this overwhelming atmosphere of dread and shared trauma.
Out of all this unimaginable trauma came what the families called the Ugly Little Club. This was a heartbreaking alliance formed by the families of Morgan Harrington, Alexis Murphy, and Hannah Graham. Driven by their agonizing shared experiences, these families united. They showed up for each other's trials, they led search parties side by side, and they relentlessly beat the drum in the media to keep their daughters' stories alive. It's a truly profound testament to their resilience.
Section 4. The survivor's secret. DNA breaks the case.
With Matthew in custody, investigators couldn't get a confession. They just couldn't. So instead, they relied on hard forensic science to expose a terrifying hidden history. And the ultimate key to this massive puzzle was held by a remarkably brave survivor. Back in 2005,
a young woman known in court as RG, survived a vicious blitzkrieg type of attack in Fairfax, Virginia. Her terrifying ordeal only ended because the headlights of a passing car actually scared the attacker away. But RG fought back. Her incredibly brave choice to undergo a forensic exam immediately after the attack meant she captured and preserved the attacker's DNA right under her fingernails.
And here's how investigators finally connected the dots. Detective Michael Boone, who had worked RG's cold case for nearly 10 years, suddenly sees Jesse Matthews' face on the news for the Hannah Graham disappearance. Recognizing him from a decade-old composite sketch, he rushes to secure a warrant and swabs Matthews' DNA. Then came the breakthrough. The DNA was a direct match to the 2005 attack on RG. And it didn't stop there. That same DNA matched unknown DNA left behind after Morgan Harrington's 2009 murder. Suddenly, everything just clicked together.
To put that into perspective, let's talk about the sheer certainty of this evidence. During RG's trial, where she bravely flew halfway across the world just to testify, forensic experts took the stand. They testified that the odds of the DNA belonging to anyone other than Jesse Matthew were an astronomical 1 in 7 billion. I mean, that is literally greater than the world's population at the time. The science was absolutely irrefutable.
Section 5. Justice finally served, closing the loop.
Armed with this undeniable scientific evidence and RG's courageous testimony, prosecutors systematically built their cases to ensure this predator would never ever walk free again. It created a real domino effect of justice. Because the prosecution secured 3 life sentences against Matthew for the 2005 attack on RG, using an offered plea where he had to acknowledge the overwhelming evidence, the dominoes began to fall. Facing a massive mountain of evidence and a potential death penalty for the murders of the 2 college students, Matthew finally gave up. In March 2016, he pled guilty to first-degree murder for both Morgan Harrington and Hannah Graham. The result? 4 consecutive life terms with absolutely zero possibility of release.
Morgan Harrington's mother, Jill, captured the tragic reality of this case perfectly. She said, "Hannah's enduring gift to us all is that she enabled this wicked man to be apprehended and convicted. She did change the world, but at a terrible price." This poignant realization really highlights the immense sacrifice and the ripple effect of these tragedies. It was the frantic, high-profile search for Hannah Graham that finally dragged a hidden monster out of the shadows, bringing justice not only to her family, but to Morgan's family, to RG, and no doubt protecting countless others.
As we wrap up this explainer, we're left to reflect on a really important question. How can communities better protect young people and look out for one another to prevent the next tragedy? The enduring legacy of these victims isn't just in the capture of a predator, it's in the way their families united, formed advocacy groups, and taught us the profound power of community vigilance. Thank you for walking through this complex, sobering case with me today. Stay curious, stay vigilant, and always look out for one another.